Hi, in this module, we are going to explore business processes. Now, if you are thinking about starting a digital transformation or change, or whatever the case may be in your organization or in your business, you need to understand business processes. Now, let's start with the definition of what is a business process. Essentially, a business processes are a set of tasks or activities that are performed in sequence to achieve a specific business goal. These processes involve inputs such as resources, labor, material, and outputs like finished goods, services, or results. You might have heard some people refer to business systems. Now, there is a difference between business processes and business systems. Now, when you think of business processes, remember this is the series of structured activities or tasks performed by people or systems to achieve a specific goal or deliver a product or service. The focus in business processes is work is done within the organization. It includes steps, rules, decision points, and outcomes. For example, order fulfillment, customer service, procurement, or hiring process. Components of a business process are activities and tasks, such as I mentioned in the definition of a business process, inputs like resources or data, which is very important, outputs like products or services, and roles, who is performing what task. Workflows are essentially the sequence and flow of tasks. Now, the purpose of a business process is to ensure efficiency and consistency in achieving business goals. Well-designed processes minimize waste, streamline operations, and increase productivity. Whereas in business systems, this is a set of tools, software, or methodologies an organization uses to manage and automate its processes. The focus here is technology or infrastructure that supports and enhances the business process. For example, enterprise resource planning systems, or an ERP, customer relationship management systems like CRMs, or supply chain management systems. Components of business systems are you're looking at your software, your tools for automation and data handling. You're looking at your hardware, like computers, networks, data management, storage, retrieval processes, as well as integration, how systems connect across functions. So essentially, the purpose of a business system is to automate and optimize your business process, allowing for better data tracking, decision-making, and operational efficiency. The key difference between the two is processes are about how work gets done. Systems provide the tools to perform and manage the work. To reiterate, processes ensure workflow efficiency. Systems ensure that the processes are executed, monitored, and optimized through technology. So let me give you an example. A business process might be the steps involved in fulfilling a customer order. A business system might be the ERP system that tracks the inventory, the processes the order, and manages the delivery or logistics. So, processes are what and how of the operations, while business systems are the technological tools that enable and enhance these processes. So why should we even care about processes? Why is this essential? There are a plethora of reasons, but we're just going to talk about the top three: efficiency, reduction of cost, and improving quality. When you think about efficiency, I want you to think about you want to streamline your business process to help you get things done faster by eliminating unnecessary steps. For example, if you are a farmer who has a well-planned process for harvesting and delivering produce, you can reduce the time spent on transport delays by ensuring fresher products reach the market quickly. Another thing around reduction or reducing costs is by optimizing each step in your process, you reduce waste and avoid unnecessary spending. For example, if you're a construction business that maintains equipment regularly, prevents breakdowns, you're avoiding costly repairs or hiring external equipment at a higher cost. Then when you look at improving quality, standardizing processes ensure that the output is consistent, whether it's a product or service. And this is important because if you think about a cleaning service, if you have a checklist that ensures every job is completed to the same high standard, which is going to build your reputation for reliability and it's going to attract more clients. So let's look at an example of if you were to map out a high-level process. So we're going to talk about a goat farm and looking at the high-level process. There are about 9 main steps that you need to look at about managing a goat farm: planning and setup, breeding and acquisition, feeding and nutrition, health management, housing and maintenance, reproduction and kid rearing, milking for dairy farms, marketing and sales, and waste management. Now, if we were to now understand the inputs and the outputs of these high-level processes that I talked about, let's look at the first 4 so I can give you an example on that. So when you see planning and setup, an input for planning and setup would be the goat breed selection, the infrastructure, fencing, housing, water resources, initial capital investments, licensing and permits if applicable, as well as market research. And that means that our output is going to be farm layout and infrastructure, the feasibility study that's been completed, and the chosen goat breed, e.g. for meat, dairy, or fiber. When we go to breeding and acquisition, inputs might look like select goat breed, buck and doe for mating or purchase young goats, a breeding plan, and veterinary services. And the output of that process would be healthy kids, young goats basically, or pregnant does. When you're looking at feeding and nutrition, we're looking at an input of what type of grass or hay, concentration and supplements, minerals, vitamins that they need to consume, the water, the nutritional plan, and the output we're hoping would be healthy and well-nourished goats, optimal weight gain, milk production, and manure for compost or sale. And then when we look at health management, we're looking at vaccinations and deworming schedules, veterinary checkups, record keeping, health records, medicine and supplements, and an output would be disease-free herd, reduced mortality rate, and regular health reports. And this is important because you want to make sure that you have enough goats. So if you buy 10 goats and those 10 goats all produce a litter of children or kids, they are going to have those kids grow healthy so that you can sell them and not 50% of your flock dies because of a disease. So when we're looking at processes in general, we also need to identify any bottlenecks. These are opportunities for us to actually improve our process. So what exactly is a bottleneck? A bottleneck refers to a point of congestion or limitation in a process that reduces the overall efficiency or capacity of the system. It is the stage or part of the system where the flow of work slows down, causing delays or restricting the amount of output that can be produced. In manufacturing, a bottleneck might occur if one machine in a production line works slower than the others, creating a backlog. Another example is if you're looking at software development, it could be a single piece of code that processes slower than expected, slowing down the entire application. Then you're also looking at things like your business operations. A bottleneck might occur when there is an overload of tasks at one department or individual, preventing the workflow from moving smoothly. That's why it's really important to identify and address bottlenecks. It's crucial for improving efficiency and performing in various systems. And when you're looking to change something, my advice is before you change anything, look at how things are now, your current state, your processes. What does that look like? Are there any bottlenecks? Let's improve that first before we now do this huge, amazing, sometimes extremely costly change that might not even impact what you want. So let's look at our example around the goat farm in relation to bottleneck. So in a goat farming process, a potential bottleneck could occur in the health management stage, specifically when disease outbreak happens and causes a delay or disruption in the overall process. Now, here's how this bottleneck could manifest, and we will also talk about how we can essentially de-bottleneck it. So the problem would be a contagious disease spreads through the goat herd, leading to sick animals, reduced productivity, milk, meat, fiber, and possible fatalities. This slows down production in breeding, milking, and sales, leading to financial losses. And that impact would be that the health of the goats deteriorates, reducing the output of milk, meat, and increases veterinary costs and affects the breeding cycle, potentially stalling the entire farm operation. So if this is your farm, this is what we would look at in terms of de-bottlenecking that process. We would want to implement a proactive health management system. So you want to have an early detection system that creates a clear vaccination and deworming schedule to prevent common diseases and parasites from affecting the herd. You want regular health checkups and automated monitoring systems, for example, temperature, activity sensors. This can help detect illnesses early before it spreads. Quarantine protocol. You want to isolate any sick animals immediately to prevent the disease from spreading to the entire herd. Have a designated quarantine area for the farm, reduce the risk of infection spread to healthy animals. When we look at health record keeping accurate and up-to-date records of each goat's health, history, vaccination, and deworming schedule is important. Regularly review these records to identify patterns of recurring illnesses or infections and adjust these preventative measures accordingly. Then you probably want to explore veterinary partnerships. You want to establish a strong relationship with a local vet who can provide regular checkups and rapid response in case of disease outbreak. Ensure that the farm has an emergency response plan, including the availability of necessary medicine and treatment protocols. You want to improve the sanitation and biosecurity. So you want to enhance the farm's cleanliness and biosecurity protocols to minimize the introduction and spread of disease. You want to regularly disinfect goat housing and pens and ensure proper waste management practices. Then you're going to look to optimize the nutritional health. All well-balanced diets improve the immunities of the goats. It reduces susceptibility to disease. It regularly reviews and adjusts, and you want to regularly review and adjust their feeding programs to keep the herd in optimal health. As a result, by implementing these proactive health management strategies, the likelihood of the disease outbreak can be minimized, and even if a disease occurs, it can be contained and treated quickly, preventing a major disruption in the goat farming process. This approach helps to debottleneck the process, ensuring steady productivity and reducing financial risk. So you would need to do this sort of exercise in the context of your business. You have your high-level processes, you have your inputs, you have your outputs, you're looking at what people are actually doing, and you're identifying any bottlenecks, and then you are thinking about solutions on how to deal with those bottlenecks. So just like if you're a goat farm, manufacturer, cleaning company, software company, service company, the process is the same. Remember, business processes are vital not only for change makers, transformation leaders, entrepreneurs, but even people who are just trying to optimize the work that they are doing. because it provides a clear roadmap of how things are getting done today, right now, my current state. And by mapping that out and understanding your business processes, whether you're a farmer, a transport provider, or running a cleaning service, you're then able to identify opportunities to make your process efficient. And that can help you save time, reduce costs, and consistently deliver high-quality products or services. All right, so now is the fun part, the homework. I want you to identify one business process you can improve in your business. Brainstorm at least 1 or 2 practical steps that you can take to improve efficiencies, even with your current constraints. And what I recommend is you do this with your team, especially the people who are in the process every day. They will probably have better ideas on how they can improve the process than you do because they're the ones in it. Good luck.